Hello Internet, going to do a quick review of a Korg NanoPAD 2 little controller. It's an affordable little controller. I have the pad version. They make like a slider one and a whole bunch of other ones. Little teeny controller. We use it to control Reason, which I love the way Reason sounds. I love the flexibility of the Reason rack. I think it's great. It's probably not as user friendly for a live setting as something like Ableton Live would be. So this is the way that we use it. It's a little rigged, but it works. So what I do is I take a paint pen and I just mark it up with the different modes. So the up and down buttons move us up and down the Reason rack as we go between the different combinators that have the different sounds in them. These control the 1, 2, 3, 4 buttons in the combinator rack so that we can turn on and off the sounds. And we use the scene selector to just kind of toggle through the 4 different scenes. So it gives you basically 4 different layers of this same controller, which is important for us because then it means that we can control a whole bunch of different racks, basically 8 different combinator racks. And we're not even using all of them yet. We're pretty close, but not quite all of them. The other 4 we use just for like little sound effects. So this is like the DJ horn, the air horn, which is new, which is absolutely hilarious. This controls the fast-slow setting in the Reason rotor rack, so that when I'm on the organ sound, I can speed it up and slow it down, and those little touches help make the parts sound more engaging. We've got a just kind of swell sound, just kind of a whoosh sound, big sub drop, a clap sound, and then a kick sound. So what we like to do to kind of bolster things up, especially when you're playing dance music sometimes. Well, right now our drummer doesn't have a sampler pad, so sometimes it's nice just to add like a kick and a clap sound in there, especially if the keyboard part is real sparse. Maybe there's like some rapping. I do that a lot in a bunch of songs, and it does like a lot, especially if it's a way to kind of contribute without having to have something special programmed inside the computer or whatever, running along with like a track. It's got a whole like slider pad. There's a lot that you can really do with this. And we really don't use it for probably its intended purposes. I use it really just as a MIDI controller. So if you check out the Korg site, or just go the Korg videos on YouTube, they'll show you all the other things that you can do. And they really can do a lot, especially if you pair a bunch of the NanoPads together, whether it's the volume slider one or whatever it might be. So these are pretty cool and really cheap, and like I said, we're using this in probably not its intended way. I'm just using it as a MIDI controller to control our Reason rack, and it works great for that. And we're on like our 4th one because we use the clap a lot, and then that one ends up failing, and it'll trigger it extra, and then at that point it's done. So we just got this one. I just put it on our M-Audio keyboard. And then we've got just a little surge protector brick for when we need to, or not surge protector, USB hub for when we need to run a bunch of other things, like when we have to run our light show. We ran into problems where the fog machine would mess with the computer, so we had to run it on some sort of a USB hub that was electricity protected or whatever, which is a little bit of a pain, but all the things you have to go through when you're dealing with live sound. Anyway, I'm rambling. So that's the way that we use it. It does a lot of different things, which is really cool. If you're doing like the DJ thing, or you're being a producer, you're making tracks, whatever it might be. So it's cheaply made. It's all plastic. It's super flimsy. These pads do fail over time. Like I said, this is our 3rd or 4th NanoPad. This is our 2nd NanoPad 2. So that is definitely a problem as far as reliability goes, but it is cheap, and the real reason why I'm doing it that way is that it's way cheaper than spending like $500 on a really good keyboard that would have all this on it, and then that would get smashed, and then you'd have to buy a whole nother keyboard. So it's my way of trying to be pragmatic about expenses and things that break when you're on the road. So thanks for watching. Someday I'll take a video of the whole computer rig setup so you can see show you guys how we run Reason and how we do it. So take it easy.